in Kingsport, Tennessee. She had on a blue sweater and blue jeans. She currently drives a 2023 white Honda HR-V. Kingsport is not that big of an area, but it's big enough for somebody to be missing right now. So we need to put boots on the ground. I need everybody to put their boots on the ground. I need everybody to see something. You say something. The Kingsport PD does have a missing persons report out on her. Again, she does drive this 2023 white Honda HR-V. You see this vehicle right here, and you see her, call 911, reach out to me. Dessa does have a young child, so we need to get her home for her child and her family, her mother Ashley and the rest of them. So I need everybody to check the back roads, check all the side roads. I need you to be looking, please. Check your Ring doorbell, check your doorbell camera, CCTV. We need to be on the lookout ASAP. Reach out to me. Again, this is a call to action. This is a call to action, Kingsport, Tennessee.
So you probably wondering why I showed that video. Well, there's a video online, and it's on my YouTube, and talking about this particular town called Cullman, Alabama. And these are showing an example why some black people are scared to go into these small downtowns, because there's always a certain side of the story. But you're going to hear from the people themselves. Just in case you get some people saying, no, that stuff is in the past, and that we changed now. We're a better America in that sense. And racism, some people believe that racism gone away. But I'm about to show you, there are people still having experiences with racism. Watch what this truck driver say.
This is not fear-mongering post. This is not, I don't like to make everything about race, but today I went through something that was very racial, and I mean, I'll allow you to do the dishes on that now. I'm driving through good state of Mississippi. Just got finished delivering a load in Amory. Now I'm on my way to my next load in Bruce. I'm on a 2-lane road, 55 miles per hour. Got my cruise set to 58. It's not no twists and turns. It's a straight line road. So, I'm just cruising, not too fast, not too slow, right? As I'm driving, I see a black sheriff's car, got the little light on the side, Explorer approaching me on the opposite side of the road. So I pass him. I look instinctively, of course, I look at my speedometer. I'm doing 58. I'm cool. Think nothing of it. I keep it pushing. So as I'm driving 3 miles down the road, look at my side mirror, I see disco lights behind me. Now, there's no vehicles separating me from this cop car, so it's obvious that I'm the one being pulled over. So I pull over. The sheriff lady, Caucasian lady, gets out her vehicle, walks around to the front of my truck, reads off the plate information to her dispatch. They respond. She comes around to me and says to me, "You know why I pulled you over, right?" I said, "I have no idea, ma'am." She said, with a sarcastic smirk on her face, "You flew past me." What? I flew past you? No, I was doing 58 miles. And I said that too. I was doing 58 miles per hour. The speed limit is 55. She hits me with the sarcastic smirk again, asks me for my CDL. So I give it to her, give her my license. She walks away, comes back moments later and says that my license is suspended. I'm like, that's cap. Now I know it's cap because I'm in the process of doing some things that is contingent on my license being valid. So, and I know it's valid. So what are we doing here? Long story short, she stands in front of me now and she's radioing to a dispatch again and read off my information, my date of birth, where I live at, my ethnicity, so on and so forth, and then ended with my license is expired. Now I'm like, yo, this is comedy, because my expiration date is on my license. It's impossible. Like, what's going on here? And I explained that to her, like, my expiration date is right there. We're not upon that date yet, so it's impossible that my license is expired. She says, oh, different states do different things. I'm like, what? Like, what are we doing? So, long story short, she gives me back my license and tells me I can go. Who would have knew? Of course, because I didn't do anything wrong. That would be the end of it, right? So when I pull off, she makes a right. I keep it pushing. 10 miles down the road, looking at my side mirror, it's like nobody else on the road but me. It's daytime though, but I'm in a rural part of Mississippi. So a black car is closing in on me fast. Now I'm not thinking it's the sheriff's car. By this point, I've kind of forgotten. Oh, but before I even get to that, before I drove away, she said to me, "Be careful out here because people out here don't respect truck drivers." I swear to everything I love, this is what she said to me. When she said that, I was like, what do you mean by that? I didn't say that to her, but I'm saying to myself, like, what? I leave. Now, 10 miles down the road, the same sheriff's car, her, pulls up on me like she had to been doing about 80 miles per hour to catch up to me as fast as she caught up to me, and then just proceeded to follow me for another 10 miles. Mind you, it's daytime. Now at this point, now I'm starting to get a little nervous. And I'm thinking that maybe I'm getting ready to be swarmed by a bunch of these people, because what the fuck, why are you following me? Like anything that you could have found on my ID, you would have found it when you had me pulled over. So what are we doing? And why am I even talking about this? And what does this have to do with the caption that's on my video? Lately, and not too long ago, there have been a number of black truck drivers who have come up missing or have been unalived in ways that have not been solved. None of them. And they all share the same complexion of me, and they look like me, young black truck drivers. I'm not that young. I'm older, but I don't look old. So I'm just saying, man, I think that the people who confronted them was of an authority, someone who they trusted or didn't think would put them in a compromising situation where they would end up unalived. And this is the reason why, particularly the reason why these cases have not been solved. Of course, this is an assumption, but we are aware that in just about every state of America there are sundown towns. Even in the state of New York,
I used to let them raise my car insurance every year until I found this huge loophole that insurance companies don't want you to know about.
North Carolina, just a couple months ago, a dude got strung up
for car insurance.
out there in a sundown town. Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Virginia even, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Texas, California. The list goes on of all of these states that have multiple sundown towns within them. So, I don't want to hear any, though you know, because the only people they're finding like this are black truck drivers. This is not by accident. I'm just spreading awareness to my fellow melanated truck drivers that you need to be aware of where you are, where you're going, where you're stopping at, and always put your life first. Take with that with you, with however you want to take it. This is what I'm saying. Stay safe out here, man. Make it home to your families.
But we say that's the past, right? Wow, it seems like we've seen a lot of things that's in the present. But I want to show you what this one lady said about this particular town called Cullman, Alabama. Watch this.
Hey y'all. So I'm sure y'all have all been saying,
I'm going to say this time, if you haven't watched the video, go watch it. So this young man says he's from Cullman, Alabama, and they have up this Christmas themed park that they want everybody to come and visit. The problem with that is, the young man says Cullman is not a sundown town. Yes, the fuck it is. He said he's lived there for 24 years and he's never experienced any racism. Of course you haven't. Your skin looks like mine. It doesn't look like my sons. It doesn't look like my ex-husbands. So, of course, you've never experienced racism in Cullman, Alabama. Let me say this. Cullman, Alabama is a sundown town. I'm 53 years old. I've spent 53 years right here in Alabama. 15 minutes from Cullman, right? I don't even like to stop in Cullman. They don't like me either because my children are biracial. My ex-husband is black. They don't like people like me either. Cullman is a sundown town. It is very well known that it has a sign up that tells black people, don't get caught in Cullman after dark because you will find them from a tree. And you want to tell me Cullman's not a sundown town? The fuck it ain't. Yeah, it is. Don't put out, because y'all show all those videos and y'all want to call it a Hallmark town. And there's nothing Hallmark about Cullman, Alabama. Nothing. Not one thing. They got this little setup going on, but that's it and that's all. There's nothing that would be on the Hallmark channel about Cullman, Alabama. Now, it may be on, the first 48 or some shit like that. But Hallmark? No. It wouldn't be. So please don't get on this good app and lie to these people and tell these people that Cullman's not like that anymore. It's 2024. Things have changed. No, the fuck it hasn't. No, it had not for Cullman, Alabama. It has not changed. And if you'll go back and watch all the little videos that they put up of this little Christmas set that they got going on, tell me one black person that you see. I ain't seen none. Black people that know about Cullman, Alabama will not even stop through there for gas or to use the restroom. Because Cullman is a sundown town. It most certainly is. And for you to get up here and spread that false narrative and telling everybody that they're welcome in Cullman, that's not true. Have y'all took y'all sign down? Because y'all used to have a sign up there, baby, just post it up there for everybody to see. The end with the hard R. Don't get caught after dark. So please stop lying. Y'all, when I tell y'all ain't missing nothing in Cullman, Alabama, I mean that. Don't even waste your time. And please don't put yourself in that situation. Because there's some people up there, quite a few, that still feel that same way. So it most definitely is a sundown town.
She's from Alabama. She's from Alabama. So she knows. And I'm making a response to this video because there's one video saying that shout out to this Blaze channel.
These social casinos lure you in with all these flash promotions, big ads, and then once you walk in, it's
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagere here. This is a video that I landed on, and of course it was interesting and I want to share it with you guys. So the more you see videos online and you look into them and do like a little bit of research, you're like shocked sometimes, especially of the things that black people have really been through. So this is about a white woman that came on the internet and was defending her town, Cullman, if I'm not mistaken, that black people should stop calling it a sundown town because it's not. And she was really literally calling out black people to stop saying her town is a sundown. And I didn't know what that meant, so I looked it up. And it turns out this is a place where white people never wanted black people to be, or people of color to be, especially like in the night. And I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And I came across videos where people were like saying it's still existing. So watching this woman say that she's so pissed and mad about people calling out a town is really disingenuous, But yeah, guys, listen to what she said and what other black people had to say about the situation. Come back and let me know. Like, really, Let me know what you think about it.
Is I've commented on at least 10 to 15 of these videos made by black people saying how Cullman is a sundown town. Nobody's trapping you. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've done my research, that I know how it feels to be in your shoes, because I'm obviously not black.
It's scary, and like, well, I'm wrong, and blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, I don't care. Like, I do care about you as a person, but you're not going to sit here and tell me why I'm wrong because I'm not black. I get that. But that's not an excuse. You can't just be like, oh, you're not black, you don't understand. No, okay, you're right, I don't understand. But I am a white Christian girl who has lived in Cullman all of her life, and never once have I ever seen in the news that somebody was killed in Cullman or hurt in Cullman because they're black. My face is getting red. I'm getting pissed off.
A white person blaming black people for pointing out that their town is racist and a sundown town. Lovecraft Country bill that highlighted sundown towns' racism, Jim Crow, was based on Cullman, Alabama.
It's not scary. You're gonna sit here and tell me all the reasons that it is scary. Why I'm wrong and blah blah blah. I don't care.
Make the point that I don't understand because I'm white. I've never seen racism in this town. Why would you ever see it as a white person? Sundown towns are real. They were a form of hyper racism within the United States before the Jim Crow era, and especially during the Jim Crow era, instituted a violent form of segregation in which black people could not be in the vicinity of that town or in that town once the sun set. Black people had to create a travel book to know where we were and weren't safe. In 2024, sundown towns still exist.
You can't just be like, oh, you're not black, you don't understand.
A sign in Cullman, Alabama, multiple of them said, niggas do not let the sun go down on you while in this town. My parents were children when that sign was up. So before you come in here and you make all these grandiose, let me hold your hand and bring you to a sundown town, you're inviting black people to come to a sundown town, and you're upset that we're saying it's a trap. White people in this country, man, you cease to amaze me. No one black in their right mind would visit Alabama to begin with. No one black in their right mind would visit a sundown town to begin with. Your grandparents probably participated in violence towards my grandparents. My grandparents are from Alabama. So before you get on this app and tell black people how to feel, how to act, and how to respond to white people telling them to come to a sundown town, look within.
I'm a white Christian girl who has lived in Cullman all of her life, and never once have I ever seen in the news that somebody was killed in Cullman or hurt in Cullman because they're black.
And saying that you're a white Christian woman, like that was supposed to be the holy grail of safety, all of the violence perpetuated against us, against the natives, against brown people worldwide has been done by white Christian people. The most dangerous people in this country are white women who use white women tears to cause harm against black people. So no, sorry, we will not be coming to Cullman, Alabama. Check yourself, get offline, do some research, because to say you haven't done research but come on here and make this plea is the most asinine, ridiculous thing I've seen all day. I'm not even shocked by this PR campaign the residents of Cullman, Alabama are on, because it is historically proven, past, present, and probably future, that white people in this country not only try to whitewash history, they change their history, and they want to be saviors, but they flat out deny the things that they actually are.
As you've seen in the video, that is what she had to say. And honestly, I must really be open about this. White people in general do not want to associate themselves with the history of their ancestors, but they want to benefit from the privileges that come with what their ancestors did. Because I can try to understand that new generations of white people don't want to associate with their history, because it really makes them look bad today in 2024 or in this future of today. And it makes sense, because we as black people, African people, are expected to carry our ancestors' traumas, or be reminded of the things our ancestors did. If you look into history, you're reminded on how our ancestors did this and this and this and that. But when it comes to white people realizing oh my god, I'm actually living in a place, let's say for example this woman, I'm in a town where my people literally tortured this group of people. It can't be true. And as a Christian, all my life, I've not heard any stories of us hurting this group of people. It can't be true. you cannot literally speak on an experience that you've never experienced. And if a group of people comes out and say like, we experienced this and we still do, like, I mean, something that is still happening in 2024, for you to now like gaslight the people that are experiencing it that is not happening is really shady to me, and it really doesn't make sense. And I mean, I also came across a video of a black man that was, you know, talking about how he accidentally went to a sundown town when he didn't know. This was his experience, guys. Listen to it, and you know, yeah, it was just wild.
When I found out I had metastatic prostate cancer, our bond gave me strength. Writing was how.
And, you know, yeah, it was just wild.
They said it was a sundown town. That's crazy. Yeah. This is 2023. It's 2023. And there's sundown towns. But you were mentioning there's one actually here in Alabama. We're in, in Alabama. It's called Cullman, Alabama. Cullman, Alabama. Cullman. Okay. Alabama. And then tell me about your story just now. Okay. I was in Cullman. I was working with a real estate company where we would go out. People would call in off of postcard ads to buy their houses. So it was one particular house that was located in Cullman, and I was training with an office in Huntsville. And so I noticed strange glances every time they mentioned we were going to Cullman. And so I stayed quiet. I heard of Cullman, but I didn't want to jump the gun. I wanted to see what they knew. I wanted to just pay attention. So we're riding, and as we come into town, I see a store, and it had a guy's face painted on the side of it. He had a beard, and so I mean, to me, he looked like a person of color. I said, "Oh, this is a forward-thinking town. Look at that. They have, you know." I'm thinking, okay, they done put somebody up. The driver looks at the passenger because the two guys I was riding with were in the front, I'm in the back. They look at each other, and he said, "No, it's actually very much the opposite." He tells me out of his mouth, "This is probably the most racist town in Alabama. It is a sundown town." I said, "Now you tell me after y'all bring me here." They're like, oh, you'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. You know, two country boys, so they're going to be fine. Right. Well, yeah, you're good. I said, "Do I need to stay in the car when we get here?" "Oh, no, man." I said, "Okay." We pull up. We hop out. I'm hopping out the car. Everybody's getting out, closing the doors. I'm walking around. White lady comes out of the house, older, a little older. She looks at everybody, she sees me, and yells out, "Oh, y'all brought a black fella." Wow. That was whoa. Out loud, yelled it. Because we were parallel parked in the street. So I'm in the road, getting out, walking around, and she yelled. So how did that rest of the interaction go? I stayed out of the way. Okay. Yeah, I let them two take the lead. She kept trying to like grab me, like it was weird. And then one time she acted like she was gonna fall, and I held my arm out, you know, in the house to help her, like, "Oh, don't fall." She said, "Watch out, I'm dangerous." I was like, I gotta go. Yeah, that's not gonna make me feel good. Right. Yeah. I didn't even know where that come from. Right. And I was gonna act of benevolence. I would love if you left a review for Cullman, Alabama. I would love to leave a review because I want to warn people who have never heard of it. Yeah. Because there's businesses there. There's warehouses. So if you're a truck driver, you might be like, "Oh, Cullman, okay," but you need to know, don't spend the night there. Dang. Don't do it. Yeah.
Listening to both stories of this man of 2023, guys, that's just last year, and this lady that is saying people are lying about her town, the things are not true about what they are saying. You can see who is genuine, who is real, and who is not, and who is trying to gaslight the situation. Because I mean, especially if something doesn't happen to people that look like you shouldn't even be involved. You know, if that makes sense. And it's wild. These people's like parents, grandparents, some of their cousins or uncles, aunties or whatever are still living today, but they were part of the situation, they were part of the system. They are still alive today. Just like this man with that woman that was like, "Oh, you know, I'm trouble, don't even try me." What does that even mean? And her being bold, like, "Oh, you brought a black person in this town," like that shows you how racist and how discriminative that place is, and they clearly know it. It's just so crazy. And this is why I always say, like, white people really need to be careful, because the more history, like, reveals itself, the more they're gonna hate themselves. Because I mean, it was pride, of course, back then, for them to have those towns, but then today it's embarrassing. Like, they don't even feel proud about it, and so they just have to, like, use this a religion, like she was saying, as a Christian, so you have a little bit of sympathy, and also saying, oh, I've never heard of such stories happening. Like, she expected, like, black people to like, sympathize with her because, her town is being demonized for her ancestors' like actions. Like, what did she expect? Like, what did she really expect? Make it make sense.
It's driving me nuts, and I'm going crazy. So first,
I can see that this is very hard for you, and I'm sorry that you're going through such a difficult time. I know that it must be difficult for there to be standards and opinions about you based upon where you are from that feels unfair to you because you didn't choose to live here or to be the way that you are, and to hear so many people have opinions about you and the way that you live based off of never meeting you or knowing your town. I know this must be incredibly difficult. In an attempt to kind of shed light on why Cullman is referred to as a sundown town, even though you did mention that you do not really care what people like me have to say about this topic, I'm just going to try to shed a little bit of light for you. The term sundown town is not something that we made up or invented or came up with. It was an actual term that referred to places in the United States of America that enacted segregation through intimidation and threat and specific practices to keep people who look like me outside of that territory, specifically at sundown at night, but also through barring the ability to take up residence in the area or to exist as a person who looks like me as a resident. For a long time, people who looks like me would have to navigate the United States using a book like this one. So this is not based off of vibes or trying to refer to Cullman as a sundown town because we just don't like it or we want it to have a bad reputation. It is because in the state of Alabama, Cullman is specifically referenced as one of these towns. It is not by choice, it was not by selection that people who look like me did not want to come to Cullman, or we did not like it, or we chose to judge the city and feel a certain type of way about it. It was because there were actual threats on our lives if we were to exist in this town past dark. That legacy and reputation doesn't just go away because it was real and it did exist. I'm a person who went to school in Alabama, and I was told by a white man from the area, do not go to Cullman, especially not at night. This was in the 2010s. He made it very clear that I should not stop on the road if I am driving through Cullman because I might be at risk. There were other students who attended my school who have actual credible stories of being stopped in Cullman, being harassed, and even attacked in Cullman County. This is not a campaign to make Cullman residents feel bad or to tell you what it's like for you or people who look like you in your town. This is simply a description of the reality for people who look like me when they come to your town. I know that it must be very frustrating to hear that there are warnings being given and that you want to take somebody who looks like me by the hand to walk through Cullman and feel safe. Understand that this is not going to happen. Understand that it has been very difficult for us to hear for a very long time that we are not welcome there, that our lives might be at risk there, that we might be in danger if we go to Cullman County. This was not prompted. We did not create these conversations. We were warned. Also understand that Sundown Town was not a badge that was worn with shame as you are wearing it right now, but it was one that was embraced by the residents of that area for a significant portion of history. Such a significant portion that it is not unlikely that there are still residents of that town today who still feel that way. So no, we're not going to come and hold your hand. So we have you as a blanket of safety to help us navigate through your town. We will kindly steer clear.
Great things have...
Let me stop it right here. There are some people in this world that they don't understand the reality of America, and it's unfortunately we have them here in America. And it's said that it's really pathetic that, we have this mindset, well, I must not go through it, so it must not exist. If I don't go through it, it don't exist. And clearly, you see that there's a difference. And some people subconsciously, it's part one of the things that we don't like to admit, and that's in America, that we have a race problem. We've always had a race problem. And this problem, I did research that go back to 1700s when it comes to race. We will always have a race problem. Even though that all the cultures are getting together in different parts of this country. But there's people that still have a problem with race in these small towns. And do you know in some of these small towns, there's no economy? Because there's not a blend of people that make people come together. It so really hurts them. But if you want people that look like the people that come over there, maybe they would come from Europe. Maybe some white people come from Canada. Maybe white people come from Russia or something like that. Switzerland and Germany or something like that. That's okay. Maybe some white Spaniards. But you and I know color is a problem. Color have always been a problem because it's been sketched in our minds that it's a problem. And it's a problem that America is going to find out one way or the other. And there are towns and cities that it's going to find out the hard way. You shouldn't have to explain to another human being. I know it's hard to imagine, but there's some people that are some who are white, who have been used to a position of power, influence, and authority, in a terroristic manner to keep other people out. And sometimes they don't do it like that. Sometimes they bargain you out. They buy you out. They can't buy you out. What do? This country has a history of doing it. They will intimidate you. If they want to get what they have off of you. This is what this young lady and this young man don't understand that. People that look like your ancestors did this. You have to accept the fact that there are some people that still subconsciously, and I've been trying to understand it, but I think it's something deep rooted. It's something spiritual. There are still places across this country, not just in the South, but there's other places. Like the one guy was a truck driver saying that's still in the Midwest and other places that still have this subconscious people that can wrap their mind around that the times are changing, that there's different demographic of people around them. But places like Cullman, Alabama, they're going to be in their own isolated world. And and maybe the people who think like them, some most likely going to be white, going to agree with, go down and visit, because that's really Christmas is a part of European heritage anyway. It came from Germany, Switzerland, and different parts, and it was adopted in America in the 1700s in America. So it is what it is. But you see how there are people kind of missing that look like myself. There are people that still going unjustly. Even if you have some people that look like myself in the town, and they're told to do this, or you think they'll have a hard time because they gotta live there, and they're programmed to think like there are some black people who are programmed in some towns to think like that. Then your law enforcement department. Who's gonna say something? So really, you have to be careful being an outsider going into these towns. like the truck driver was saying. And I show other videos where there's one truck driver, he talks about you have to be careful. America still sees color. The people, just because a segment of people say, well, we all brothers and I love God and I believe in Jesus. Yeah, but they programmed to see the white Jesus like we were programmed to see the white Jesus. Not the Jesus of the Bible. It's a fact. Not the bronze skin Jesus. Not the burning feet Jesus that's going to come one day in the earth. They look at the one that's put plastered on the wall, put into the movies. So naturally, they're programmed too. To see it like that. So, and that Jesus showed them that we all the same. But you know the story behind that Jesus, right? This is for the people who are Christians. Some people are Christians that have that kind of mindset. See, some people say it and some people display it. And it's like, I can't believe something like that would happen. Well, the past is still, some things that's in the past are still in the present. And there's some people from generation that passed down from generation to generation still harbor those things. And I've had personally been to a sundown town in Kentucky. And I remember, I tell you, it was something it scared I didn't really realize it until it dawned on me, till I talked to some people that my mother's in-laws were telling me about that part of Kentucky. And they had people that were raised in Kentucky. And they were saying how, and they just kept it real. They said, you lucky to come back alive. Couldn't come back missing. And it was like, well, I went back and kind of told me, and the girl I was dating, she's biracial. So she wasn't completely all white, but her parents are. But the thing about it was, the town we was at, it was one time when it was not like, hey, how you doing? Greet you with a smile. It was like, if you were another person with different color, you were like invisible like the trees. And you knew that you're not supposed to be down. This isn't, and I've talked with people who were white on the line, said that yeah, that Corbin, Kentucky was racist. And I was like, wow. And I mentioned this in one time in the video, and it was like, wow, I'm in this little country town. I mean, it's like something out of the house, like something back in time. And it was eerie. And in fact, it's the same town, well, the hometown of KFC. The guy that made Kentucky Fried Chicken, they got a museum based on him. I mean, you can go through there, and it's a restaurant, but I don't know, it's probably still there. And man, that was the first time I stayed a night down there, and that was the first time I stayed at a trailer park in one of the mobile homes. And I didn't sleep well that night anyway. Then when I got down there, it's like the country road, like the road that looked like it led off into a path. Like you can ride horses down this thing. And on top of that, I come out in the morning, you seeing ducks walking across the road. But the night before that, I was scared. We got pulled over by the local police down there. And I laid down. I didn't put my head up. He didn't look in the back seat. But I don't know. I was nervous. And Shanae, her name is Shanae, and she's taking her grandma. And I'm said, oh my God, here we go. we see like the guy said, the disco lights pulled over. I laid down for a minute, and to come to find out, he let them go, and because there were people in that neighborhood that was, tearing up mailboxes and stuff like that. But he just pulled us over, and he let us go. I got back there. I said, "Oh man," I said, "I don't think I'm going to come back down here anytime soon." And it was like, and her grandmother was telling me how prejudiced it was. She was saying that they had a relative that was in an interracial relationship, and they were harassed by the local Ku Klux Klan down there, threatened. They were literally threatened. It was so bad that him and her husband, who's black, they went all the way to California. They never been back. So this part of Kentucky still exists. And there's some people in the little small country towns. I've seen it, and I'm telling you, it's we have it in here, and even Ohio. And one thing about people who are prejudiced, sometimes they're not going to be direct with it, like they are in Alabama. In Ohio, they just like, how some people, if you're a stranger, you kind of like, people don't know you for the first time, but when you're black, you're really not in their presence. They don't understand you, so they don't probably even want to look at you. That's how we pick up. That's how we pick up on things like that. Because you can tell if someone is, just being antisocial, or but it's just something that you pick up. You automatically, it's in us. We know. As black people, we know. And the thing about it, some white people don't think that we know, but we know how who have that mindset. We know how to pick them out, because they're obvious. And sometimes they may not want to show it around their friends or their family. So this is what I've learned over the years, what they do, what some people do. And it's sad, but some people can't really accept another person of a different race. Oh, they say it all day long. You put a camera in front of their face, but if behind closed doors, and you look like one of them, you hear how they really feel about it. I have been in the presence where someone slipped up, and I really heard what they really feel about black folks. It's easy to respond, want to go and knock somebody across the head, but that don't mean nothing. No, because I'm glad you exposed yourself, because now I know not to mess with. I know what kind of person you is. And so I bet you there's some people in these little small towns like that. They'll put on a face, and they'll say, "Oh, you my brother, you my Christian brother." But sometimes not always the case. And I remember fellowship with some people one time here in Columbus, and we had a little house gathering, right? So I think. This other lady, this black lady, we going over there. I thought this woman said that she had experiences with the Lord, and she's an evangelist and a pastor. But when she invited these people, boy, they came out of that West Jefferson, Ohio. Not that everybody in West Jefferson is like this, but you can tell that these particular people didn't like black people. Because they didn't want to associate with you, they don't want to look at you, they'd be like they're scared even. White people give off that vibe, especially ones that never been around black people. They don't even know that they do this stuff, some don't even know it. And they try so hard, but they don't want to tell you this. And so sometimes even their friends family members might ignore it. But there are some that do. But with the young lady, she just in denial, and it's just messed up that their parents never told them the truth. they never had that kind of discussion because everybody around there looks like them. Why would we talk about a topic like that? I mean, most you might know people that you work with or you go to school with, but don't mean that you associate with, you know. But race does matter in America. It will always matter in America to some people. Not everybody. Not everybody black. Not everybody white. But you're going to see the signs of it. And some people, people get upset about Trump. But in a way, I'm kind of glad that it's exposed to people who have those feelings because they see the image of the white male. And they think that he has the same mindset as they do. But they don't know that man personally. He might say some things that kind of resonate because it's all about kick everybody else out. We don't want to unite. But it's okay. Because now history will show, we've been telling you this all along. They've been, oh my God, I can't believe people are like, I can't believe what happened January 7th. You know, the people stormed the Capitol. It's already been in people. We have a history of this. And I don't know why we're in such a denial as a nation when it comes to that topic. Race will always be an issue. It's built on fear, prejudice, envy, jealousy. It's always been like that. That someone's going to get more than gain. This group of people going to get more than this other group of people, and we got to stop them. We got to sabotage them. That's just a fact. There's some people that are, and you'd be surprised that. And I'm sorry if you're white, you're watching this, but they come something 9 chances out of 10 they're gonna be white, and they don't even know. And I remember Shanae's grandma said this. She said, "Why do you not like black people?" And the woman honestly, she said, "I don't know. I just don't like them." I was like, "Damn." So don't tell me something ain't spirit. Don't tell me that to the point that when you look at somebody and say, "I don't like another human being," why? I just don't like those people. What else can you explain that? And I'm like, wow. And she, and I admire the ones that come out and let you know. And then some ones that really know how good people are. And sometimes they take other white people, really keep it real and say, yeah, we do have a problem down here. Like that one woman. We do have a race problem. I admire those ones. Just come out and just say, yeah, I've heard some things, some ignorant statements that they said. About the tree ornaments. Heck, even saying, you know what the opposite of jerry rig, right? They call it nig rig. Can't get the car started, just nig rig it. See, I mean, everything is a racial tone when it comes to that N-word. Even trees is describing that. Even the trees as ornament. And I wouldn't doubt it. Someone like Cullman Alabama would say something like that. Those racist ones. That's how bad some people have racism in them. And I know it's hard to believe some people are like that. And even though it could be black people down there, it could be somebody black. They're just immune to it. They know it is, but they're just immune to the custom. It's like, yeah, I didn't happen to be down here. You just blessed and lucky. But no, maybe you just the only one down there. Now, when you start getting a whole population of people, more than one, that's when you see the racism. If you get more than 20,000, 30,000 blacks and other people, that's when you'll find out. Because that's what basically those towns were built on in history about that. And when them kind of people, particularly in Cullman, they think that they're going to be weeded out. They just cannot. They never can change that because it's been so embedded in them. it's a generational thing. And the only one that can really get that out of them is God Himself. You can't shame it out of them. You can penalize them on, but people are going to do what they're going to have a certain mindset. They're going to always have a bigot of opinion. I come to accept that. It's ugly, but it is what it is, people. It is what it is. You always have racial problems. Even that going to 2025, it's a generational thing with some people. And the only way you can escape it is maybe go to some part of the world where people judge by character, not by color. Be careful you go to Europe, too. It's in other places like that, even the Middle East, because there's people over there. I don't know if we'll get like a sundown town like we have in America, but it is what it is. So, yeah, so if you're a black immigrant, anybody come across this, even though that person's white is nice, they might have good intentions. It's not them you got to worry about. It's when you go back to the town, that's what you have to worry about. Because their friends used to see them in the majority setting. You come along, you're just one. But if 20 or 30 of you was there, it becomes a little uncomfortable. Because people worry about the population. They worry about race. Trust me, it will reveal over time. Take the note to it. Everything don't have to be always direct. Remember, it's two types of racism in America. There's a direct one that's in your face, and it's the ones that's politely racist. But we don't want to be exposed. But they both stand in agreement because it's based on fear, intimidation, jealousy, envious of other people. And deep down, like my friend said a long time ago, he said, James, deep down, everybody has something about their own culture and their own race. And I said, what you mean? And as I get older, I start seeing other races, not just white people, other races. Everybody want to be around their own. They don't say it, they just display it. Remember what I'm telling you. Some people don't always got to put on, they just tolerate you. They be friendly to you. But as far as they go, it's a Simon Says world. Simon Says, you're alright, but don't come until I say so. And I think it's an individual thing. It's not a group thing, but it's an individual. You'll see over time. You'll see, and don't be surprised. All right then, take care. Be blessed. See you on the next video.